This shopping cart was not designed for your groceries. It was designed to control your brain. And supermarkets are using it to secretly pickpocket an extra 40% of your hard-earned money every single week without you even realizing it. Most people think shopping carts got bigger simply because we want to buy more things. But the truth is exactly the opposite. You buy more things precisely because of the size of this cart. Today, we are going to expose a multi-billion-dollar dark psychological experiment happening right inside the metal basket you push around every single week. Welcome to the biggest psychological manipulation game in America. Consider the way we shop. The average American has a deep-rooted habit of stocking up for the entire week or even the whole month. When you walk into a store and push one of those giant, cavernous metal carts, a few essential items like a carton of milk and a bag of bread look incredibly tiny, isolated, and lonely sitting at the bottom. Our brains absolutely hate incompletion. A vast, empty shopping cart sends a constant, nagging neurological signal straight to your subconscious mind, whispering that you haven't bought enough yet, that you need to look around, and that there is still so much empty space left to fill. Think about the massive carts at Target or the gargantuan flatbeds at Costco. The shopping carts at Costco are so monumentally huge that you could comfortably fit a 10-year-old child and 3 massive boxes of paper towels inside them with room to spare. That is not an accident of manufacturing. That is an intentional, highly engineered psychological weapon. Rigorous retail studies conducted across the United States have proven that when the size of a shopping cart is doubled, consumers automatically tend to buy between 19% and 40% more stuff. As these carts grow bigger and heavier, they naturally force you to slow down your walking pace. In the world of retail science, moving slower always equals seeing more merchandise, which directly translates to spending significantly more money. Major American supermarkets like Whole Foods and Trader Joe's absolutely love this dynamic. But buying too much merchandise simply because your cart has extra room leads to a devastating consequence, which is that immense amounts of food spoil and end up straight in the trash can. The average American family throws away nearly 40% of all the food they purchase, and that giant shopping cart is the primary accomplice in this financial and environmental crime. When the cart remains wide open, your psychological defenses drop, and you easily toss in extra-large bags of potato chips and massive 2-liter bottles of soda because you think to yourself that there is still plenty of room to carry it all. To understand why this happens, we have to look at human evolution. Our ancestors survived for thousands of years by hunting and gathering. When confronted with an empty void or a vast open space, the ancient survival brain automatically fires a distress signal telling you to fill it immediately or you will starve to death. An empty shopping cart creates a vague, uncomfortable sense of psychological insecurity. When you place 3 items into a small handbasket, you see that it is completely full, which signals your brain to stop shopping. But when you place those exact same 3 items into a giant shopping cart, they look lonely and insufficient. Your brain is completely tricked into thinking you haven't done any real shopping yet, so you tell yourself that buying a little bit more won't hurt. Supermarkets intentionally increase the size of their carts so you never have to go back to the front entrance to grab another basket when you spot an unexpected sale. The oversized cart creates a physical and psychological safe zone, ready to absorb every single impulse buy you make without encountering any physical barriers. This entire manipulation relies on 3 fundamental laws of consumer behavior. The first rule is that space dictates volume. The core truth here is that the size of the container always determines the amount of items placed inside it, completely independent of your actual human needs. If you take a massive backpack on a weekend trip, you will inevitably find random things to stuff inside it until it is full. By handing you an oversized cart, the supermarket is actively reshaping and inflating your purchasing power. The second rule is the invisible default. Masterful design is the design that nobody ever notices. Retailers increased the physical dimensions of shopping carts by 20% completely silently over the years, which drove a corresponding 19% increase in total sales. This sneaky adjustment makes customers believe they are buying more out of their own free will, rather than being subtly forced into it. The third rule is conscious awareness versus the designed environment. In a retail space that has been meticulously optimized from top to bottom to make you spend money through bright lighting, slow-tempo background music, massive carts, and ultra-smooth flooring designed to slow down wheel rotation, pure logic and willpower will always fail you. If you truly want to win this psychological warfare, you have to completely change the tools you use. You must master the strategy of space both inside the grocery store and across your entire lifestyle. When it comes to shopping, you should always choose a traditional handheld basket instead of a rolling cart if you are only buying groceries for the next day or two. The physical weight of that basket pulling down on your arm acts as a literal sensory alarm that constantly reminds your rational mind that you have bought enough and that your hands are getting tired. You should also create an exact, uncompromising shopping list before you even step foot through the automatic doors, and force yourself to look only at the ink on that paper, rather than looking at the empty, inviting spaces in your cart. This psychological principle extends far beyond the grocery aisles and deeply impacts your personal finance and overall life management. Think about your wallet and your credit card limits. You must never create containers that are unnecessarily large for your lifestyle. If you maintain an excessively high credit card limit, which acts exactly like a giant shopping cart, you will automatically develop a toxic tendency towards impulse spending, just to fill up that available financial margin. You need to actively lower your credit limits to protect your wealth. You can also apply this directly to time management. If you allocate an entire empty day, which represents a giant chronological shopping cart, to complete a task that should realistically only take 2 hours, that task will automatically expand in complexity and scope until it swallows your entire day. This is known as Parkinson's Law. To defeat this, you must break your time down into small, highly structured baskets of 25 to 50 minutes, ensuring that you control the space rather than letting the empty space control your life.